Hey YouTube, this is Nathan from Team Cerberus 03. This is our very first Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and hopefully the first of many to come. Today we're going to show you a Chaos Dragon deck, but we want to give a shout out to Your Yu-Gi-Oh channel for helping to give us the idea for the deck. We're going to give them the credit for it, but we're going to show you today how to run it and some basic strategies behind it. So first, we're running 2 Chaos Sorcerers. Remove from play a Light and Dark out of your graveyard. He special summons, and once per turn you can remove from play a monster on your opponent's side of the field. When he's on the field, this is basically like a beatdown deck, pretty much. I mean, that's what dragons are all about. So if you can special summon dragons while having him on your side of the field, you can remove from play their monster and then hit him direct. So you can basically OTK him if you want to, or at least that's the strategy. In doing so, we run 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons. The problem with this card is that this deck is pretty dependent on this card. If you can't get it out on the field, you're probably not going to be able to get your dragons out. So one of the strategies behind it is that we run a lot of draw power so that we can get to this, drop it, so you can special summon dragons from your hand or your graveyard and basically like swarm the field. So we run the basic Blue Eyes White Dragon. 1, it's a light, and 2, it's a level 8, so it's trade-inable, which we can get to that later. We also run 2 Dark Choruses. Same reason, it's basically a Blue Eyes White Dragon, only it's dark. Trade-inable, level 8, so we're good to go. We run 2 Light and Darkness Dragons. This card is pretty good because it can win duels by itself. For one, when it's dropped on the field, it loses its attack power to basically negate cards. So your opponent has to waste resources in order to bring its attack down enough that it can attack it. And 2, when it's destroyed, I select 1 monster in my graveyard, destroy all cards on my side of the field, and special summon it. So if you only got a Light and Darkness on your side of the field, ooh wow. You lose it, you special summon a Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Easy. You're on 1 Gore's Emissary of Darkness. This card will save your ass. If you get Dark Hold and your opponent tries to attack you direct, drop a Gore's with its token, and then next turn you can try to OTK by summoning a lot of dragons with your Red Eyes Darkness Metal. There's a lot of combos you can pull out with, and we'll probably run another video for that, but I'll show you some basic ones today. That's it for the big dragons. Now we're going to look at the smaller stuff in the deck. We run 2 White Stunner Legends. This card is good for 3 reasons. 1, it's light for your Chaos Sorcerer. 2, it's a tuner so you can synchro with it. And 3, when it's sent to the graveyard by any reason, you can add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, or from your deck to your hand, excuse me. So that's good for trade-in, and it's also good for your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, because you can, like, you know, you batted Blue Eyes, oh, well, I'll drop a Red Eyes Darkness Metal and drop a Blue Eyes with it. You know, so it's very broken. You're on 2 Red Eyes Wyverns. This card is good with Future Fusion, or if it's just in the graveyard at all while you have a Red Eyes Darkness Metal, because during a turn that you don't normal summon, you can remove them from play to special summon your Red Eyes. Run 2 Debris Dragons. This card is good because when it's normal summoned, you can special summon a monster from your graveyard with 500 or less attack. Usually, this is Dandelion. Yes, that's right, we're running a Dandelion in a Dragon deck. It's good, it's broken, and it works. Or we can run Treeborn Frog. Now, the nice thing about Dandelion is you can pull tokens, and while you have Debris on the field, you can sync for 7, you can sync for 9, or you can sync for 6. So it's good stuff. That's it for the monsters. We're going to move on to spells. We're on 3 trade-ins. Discard a level 8, draw 2 cards. That's the whole point in getting to Red Eyes Darkness Metal. It's basically like mill your deck, put it in the graveyard, use Chaos Sorcerer, and use your dragons. It works. Something a little bit weird. 3 Upstart Goblins. Usually you don't see this too much because it gives your opponent 1,000 life points to draw a card, but with this deck, you're special summoning so many dragons at once that it's just it's nothing. I mean, you can hit your opponent for 8,000, 9,000, sometimes even 10,000 life points for like one battle phase. So this is just, you know, it's collateral damage. Let's put it that way. 1 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, discard remove from play a dark monster. You know, you're running a Light and Dark deck, so you're probably, odds are, you're going to have a dark. Or you can discard your whole hand, and that can be good too in some cases. Just depends on situation. 1 Different Dimension Reincarnation. You remove from play stuff for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, you remove from play stuff for your Chaos Sorcerer. Why not run one of these to special summon it? Discard a card, special summon it. Foolish Burial. I'll show you a combo later on with this, but you can basically, what you do is you activate it, you send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. Good stuff. 1 for 1. Yeah, kind of foolish to run, but it can save your ass at times. It just depends, because if you want to discard a dark monster And then if you got a Chaos Sorcerer in your hand, no darks or lights in the graveyard, you can 1-for-1 with a dark monster pull out, like we'll say one of the only thing you can pull out is the Whitestone Legend. When he's destroyed, sent to the graveyard, you add a Blue Eyes, and then you can you can go ahead and remove from play for your Chaos Sorcerer, and you're good to go. Then we get to the staples: Monster Reborn, Reborn Darkness Metal, Reborn of Blue Eyes, whatever floats your boat. Dark Hole, destroy your opponent's stuff. Get it out of the way. Giant Churnade, return spells and traps, you know, so you can get their direct attacks in. That's the whole point. 2 MSTs, same thing, you know, destroy spells and traps and move on. 1 Future Fusion. This is good because you can put stuff in your graveyard, and like I usually try to run, you know, try to put at least 1 Wyvern and 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal in if I get this card first turn, because then you can, at the end phase of the turn, if you don't normal summon, you can put out a Red Eyes to either protect yourself or, you know, it sets you up for the next turn if they don't have anything. Something a little bit more strange in the deck, but it really is broken and it really works, is 2 Royal Decrees. This shuts your opponent down. Oh, by the way, we're only running 4 traps. Yeah, seems kind of weird, but you know what? You draw one of these, or your Torrential, which is a major monster remover, you know, or Mirror Force. You usually get one of these in your hand every time. Every time you draw, it's good. And you know what? If it gets removed or whatever, that's okay because you have another one. Moving on to the side deck or extra deck, it's called. Are just tokens, you know, for your Dandelion or Cores. I usually pull off a combo with this often. Iron Chain Dragon. This is easy because it's only level 6, and usually what you can do is you can mill the top. If it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you mill the top 3 cards of their deck, so it gets rid of stuff. 2 Stardust Dragons. Basically negate stuff. Level 8. You know, it's kind of hard to get rid of. You know, with all the room for play stuff. I mean, with Dimensional Prison, Bottomless Trap Holes. Hey, you got Royal Decree, so it helps you out. 2 Red Dragon Archfiend. This is good. Excellent. Destroys defense position stuff. If your opponent tries to go for defense, well, you know what? Say goodbye to it. The rest of this stuff that we're running is more, we don't really have a whole lot of Dragon Synchro monsters, so this is just stuff to kind of help you out in, you know, just any situation. X-Saber Wayne's level 5, you know, you probably don't get him on the field very much, and his effect is pretty much useless, but, you know, he's just a little beat stick, I guess you could say. It's just something that you can pull out of your ass if you need to. Same goes with the Gaianite. You don't really pull it much in the deck, but it's good to have at least something that you can fall back on, because, you know, if plan A fails, plan B fails, you got to come up with a plan C. X-Saber Urbellum. Play a deck that abuses draw power, try to get this on the field. You know, inflict battle damage to them, you can put a card from their hand onto the top of the deck. So, you know, it's basically they're just going to keep drawing the same thing over and over again. Almost like a Yata-Garasu, so to speak, only this time they just keep drawing it. Colossal Fighter. You know, we don't run Warriors, but you know what? When he's destroyed by battle, you can special summon him again. And of course, 2 5-headed dragons. Well, you ask, why am I running 2 if I'm only running 1 Future Fusion? Because I side decked this. This is excellent. I'll show you why. If you use Future Fusion, you dump 5 monster cards from your deck into the graveyard. Well, guess what? Let's say you have this in your hand too. Oh man, that's great. Remove from play the 5, special summon your 5-headed. 2 more turns, you're going to get another 5-headed. That's 10,000 attack. Let's see him destroy that. A little bit more strategy behind the Foolish Burial is to, when you activate Foolish Burial, drop Dandelion into the graveyard. That gives you 2 tokens. You can put in attack, defense, whatever. While also having Debris Dragon, you drop this, you pull a Dandelion. You can sync for whatever. I usually sync let's see, nope, not Dandelion. Usually sync for 6. And that would be my Iron Chain Dragon. Mills the top 3. It's excellent. It's good stuff. One of the hands I pulled, or one of the tricks I pulled in a duel earlier, and we'll probably upload it and show it to you. Giant Churnade, Foolish Burial for the Dandelion, pulled out the tokens, synced for the Iron Chain Dragon. Well, I had a Red Eyes Darkness Metal in my hand, different dimension reincarnation with a Horus. Well, as well as my Dandelion was still on the field. These 2 monsters on the field. Well, guess what I did? Something a little bit foolish, but removed it, specialed, different dimension reincarnation to bring it back. And then use Red Eyes Darkness Metal effect to pull your Horus. OTK. That's pretty much all. I mean, there's a lot of combos you can pull off with this deck, and you often mill a lot of cards in your graveyard, but this deck is designed to work out of the graveyard, and it's designed to work from the remove from play. So don't, and you know what? Another thing, do not be afraid to remove from play, if you have a Red Eyes Darkness Metal on your side of the field, do not be afraid to remove from play to pull another one. Because if you special summon that, and you DDR this, guess what? If you have a Blue Eyes in your graveyard or a Dark Horus, you're going to be pulling one, if not both of those. And guess what? That's 6,000. You know, that's another. What is that? 11,600 damage. OTK right there. So that's basically what the deck is all about. You know, you can stop your opponent from activating stuff. It's excellent. So that is the Chaos deck. YouTube, I would not shy away from giving this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe and rate the video and rate the deck. You know, any comments help, and I'd appreciate it if you check out the description, because we got a link for Your Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Check him out too. He did build some good decks and comes up with some good strategies. So anyway, catch you later, YouTube.